guys, it's Shannon. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button so you can stick around and join me every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for new DIYs, tutorials, and new inspiration. Today we are doing a Dollar Tree DIY, and the main item we are using is this cute little buffalo check tote bag that I found and knew I needed to grab it so I could do something great with it. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let me show you the supplies we're gonna be using for this project. All right, all of these items I'm showing you here are from the Dollar Tree. So like I said, this buffalo check tote bag here. I also have some Mod Podge, 2 Jenga games. I may only need one of these, but I grabbed 2 just in case so I don't run out. I also have some burlap ribbon. This guy is an old wreath that I had previously covered in some moss from the Dollar Tree, and he's seen better days. So I want to do the same kind of concept. I'm going to take all of this old moss off, and I purchased new moss from the Dollar Tree, floral moss that's green. And then we're also going to need a big piece of foam board from the Dollar Tree as well. My first step is to cut down this bag. So I'm basically just gonna cut around the edges here because I just need one side. We can save the other side for another project. I'm gonna use some sharp scissors to do that with. And then once that's cut out, I'm going to lay it on my foam board, trace around it, and use a sharp X-Acto knife to cut the foam board down to the same size as the bag. If you like craft projects and DIYs, especially the farmhouse style, you can follow me over on my social media pages, both on Facebook and on Instagram. I'll have those linked down in the description box below. All right, so I have these both cut out. I did cut this piece of foam board about 1/4 inch bigger than this. And the reason being is I didn't want the buffalo plaid to hang off on the edges. And we're gonna be adding those Jenga pieces around the edges. So it's gonna cover up that edge that's kind of exposed without this having to come up to the edge and fold over, and then you don't want to see that. So that's the reason I cut it a little bit bigger, and now I'm going to apply this to the foam board using my Mod Podge and a foam paintbrush. All right, I just got my whole surface prepped and ready to do the Mod Podge, and I completely just changed my mind. I forgot I picked up this double-sided tape at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna use that to apply this down onto the back of here to apply to the foam board. And the reason being is I'm really afraid because Dollar Tree's foam board has this paper, it's gonna really wrinkle, and then that's gonna show through this, and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna tape this on. Later we're going to glue on the border, which is gonna help hold this on better. So I think this will be just fine for this step. It'll be a lot quicker and a lot less messy too. So I have my Jenga pieces out. What I'm gonna do is just lay them around the edge here where they're gonna go. So I can see how many I need, and then I'm gonna paint them all with my black chalk paint. You could also stain these if you wanted to, paint them a different color if you wanted to. Do whatever works best for you and your decor. All right, so in case you run into this problem like I did, you can see here, like these line up really, really nicely until we get over here. So there's 2 things you can do. You can lay out your border first and then cut your foam board so that you know this is all gonna fit onto the square that you cut. But since I've already cut mine and I've got all this centerpiece ready, I am going to trim these down. So you can see this one hangs over a little bit, this one hangs over a little bit, and then I have this small gap. So I'm gonna use my pencil and mark where I need to cut those 3, and then I have my miter box handy here. I have this in the Amazon store, so if you're interested in something like this to have handy, they're really, really inexpensive. I wanna say they're only about $10. So you get the saw and the miter box, and it's easy to just trim wood pieces like this down to size so that you can make your projects work. All right, so I got all those pieces cut down. It takes like no time at all. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to move these off of here and lay them out in the order that I put them on, because I want these to go back on there and fit nicely. So I'm just gonna make my frame over here and paint them one at a time. All of my Jenga pieces are dry, so it's time to glue them onto the edges. I'm gonna be using this Aleene's Tacky Glue, which is from Dollar Tree too. I love this stuff for projects like this because it doesn't dry super fast, so you have some time to kind of move stuff around and rearrange it if you need to. Hot glue is what I usually use, but things like this that you kind of need to adjust as you go along, this glue works really, really good. All right, so there it is, framed out. What I want to do is, after this dries, see that white edge around there? I'm gonna take the paintbrush and paint that black too, so it'll blend in nicely. And while that is drying, I'm gonna move over here to my wreath. So I'm gonna strip all of this old stuff off and replace it with the new moss, and I'm gonna use hot glue for that. And once that is done, and once this is completely done, then I'll come back in with my burlap ribbon and hang my wreath. So just put like a loop over and under the wreath, and then hang it over the top of my frame here, and probably just use some packing tape on the back to hold it in place, and it'll be finished. I ended up using hot glue to attach the ribbon to the back of the sign just because I had that out and handy already. And then I had just found these cute metal accent pieces from the Dollar Tree, so I decided to use the welcome one to accent the front of the wreath, and that really gave it a lot more character and texture, which really complemented this piece.
And here's a look at the finished piece. I love this beautiful pop of green color that really gives my coffee bar some extra added life. I really love the metal accent piece on the front as well. And it all really did come together so nicely and easily. It only cost about $7 in supplies, so such a great deal for a beautiful farmhouse piece like this. If this tutorial inspired you, if it did, please give this video a thumbs up for me. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I bring you new DIYs, tutorials, and new inspiration every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you hit that bell next to the subscribe button, you'll be notified when my videos go live. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.